Welcome to Hollywood Bulletin. Pierce Brosnan, the suave, smooth-talking secret agent who brought James Bond into the 21st century, has been a symbol of charm and confidence for over 4 decades. But behind the polished exterior, behind the tailored suits and red carpet smiles, Brosnan has carried a deep, lifelong pain, one he says he's hidden throughout his entire career. Born in 1953 in Drogheda, Ireland, Brosnan's early life was anything but glamorous. His father abandoned the family when he was an infant, and his mother moved to London to find work, leaving young Pierce in the care of relatives. He once described his childhood as a lonely path, marked by the absence of stability, security, and a sense of home. Those early years left an imprint, a silent ache that never quite left him. As a young man, Brosnan found purpose in acting. He trained at the Drama Centre in London and began his career on stage before transitioning to television. It was his breakout role as the charming detective in Remington Steele that brought him into the spotlight, and eventually led him to being cast as James Bond, a dream role he had once been denied due to contractual obligations. In 1995, he finally took on the role of 007 in GoldenEye, becoming the 5th actor to play the iconic British spy. Brosnan's Bond era was a global success. He brought a perfect blend of toughness, wit, and elegance to the role, starring in 4 Bond films over 7 years. But even as he redefined the modern Bond for a new generation, he was quietly fighting private battles no one could see. In 1991, tragedy struck when his wife, Australian actress Cassandra Harris, died of ovarian cancer. Brosnan was just beginning to gain traction in Hollywood, but his world came crashing down. Suddenly, he was a widower, raising 3 children, including Cassandra's children from a previous marriage, whom he had adopted as his own. He once said, "There is an incredible cruelty in loss, but you have to learn to carry it. You have to learn to go on." Years later, heartbreak returned when his daughter Charlotte died, from the very same disease that took her mother. She was just 41 years old. Brosnan's grief was deep and consuming, and yet, once again, he carried it quietly. In interviews, he admitted he struggled with depression, especially during the height of his fame. The man who had it all, the looks, the career, the accolades, was, in reality, holding himself together through sheer force of will. And yet, Brosnan kept going. He remarried in 2001 to journalist Keely Shea Smith, with whom he shares 2 sons. He found solace in painting, a hobby that became a form of therapy, and he dedicated himself to environmental activism and cancer awareness. His art, his family, and his ability to channel grief into purpose became his way of healing. Today, Pierce Brosnan is not just remembered as a Bond icon or a Hollywood leading man, but as someone who endured tremendous personal loss and continued to rise. His journey is one of resilience, of quiet battles, and of emotional truths that were hidden for decades behind the image of a superstar. Now in his 70s, Brosnan has begun to open up more about his past, not for sympathy, but to remind others that even the most put-together people carry invisible wounds. His story is a powerful reminder that success doesn't erase pain, and that strength often means simply surviving the hardest days. If you found this story moving, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to Hollywood Bulletin, where we bring you the real stories behind Hollywood's biggest stars. There's always more than what you see on screen.